Welcome to day 185 of the New Way. We're continuing to look at Jesus' teachings at the Pharisees' house. I'll read Luke 14:12 through 14. Then Jesus said to his host, "When you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends, your brothers or your sisters, your relatives or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you will be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." Does this sound strange to you? How do you pick your friends or decide who to invite over? This teaching is the exact opposite of the way the world thinks. We typically invite friends who will make us look good. We want our friends to be popular and/or smart. The world tells us to invite people who will invite us back. What would it look like to do as Jesus commanded and be friends with someone who is not able to benefit you socially? What did Jesus say we needed to remember in Luke 14:14? "And you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." Our California church had a pastor who kept a list of people who had no family locally, who might be lonely on holidays. He asked those of us with room at our tables to open our home to these people, especially on holidays. David and I decided that rather than to be placed on the list ourselves, since our children were grown and gone, we would open our home to others who might be lonely on the holidays. We met many delightful people this way. But one year, Pastor John called and said that he had a special need. Would we pray about it and let him know if we would be willing to invite 3 homeless men for Thanksgiving? We agreed and began a great adventure. One of the men, named Joel, became a regular guest for the holidays. We enjoyed getting to know him, and we were able to minister to him for about 3 years before he died of cancer. During his last few months of life, he called me just about every night about 4 a.m. We would talk about whatever was on his mind. As he approached death, he became more and more willing to talk about his relationship with God. I know that he is in heaven today. I took the time and effort to be a friend to someone who desperately needed a friend, and he turned out to be a good friend. I still miss him at the holidays and think of him whenever we play the board game, Ticket to Ride. He taught me so much about homelessness, and I loved his quick wit and humor. Now, I had a friend who refused to celebrate the holidays with us because Joel was going to be there. I'm okay with that. He wasn't popular or socially acceptable. Jesus was smiling when I told her my home would always be open to her, and it was her choice whether to come and celebrate with us or not. But my home was also open to hurting people, including Joel and his friends. It was up to her to choose. I pray that God will open your eyes to hurting people that need your friendship. God has called us to be His hands of love toward hurting people. In His service, Dale.